What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gary, and this is Become the Music. Tonight, unfortunately, paying another tribute to another fallen legend. The late, great Ace Frehley, lead guitarist from Kiss, original lead guitarist, has passed yesterday on October 16th, 2025, at the age of 74. I'm sure music fans out there have seen the news of this. Apparently he fell while in his home studio, struck his head, and lay there for a day or so until his daughter found him, at which time he was taken to hospital. He's been in hospital for a while, and the decision was made to take him off life support because he was not responding to treatment. So, very sad story there. A huge, immeasurable influence in my life. Growing up in the time that I did, nothing was cooler than Kiss. Well, maybe there was, but to me there wasn't. And the reason that I started my journey of being a guitar player was because of Kiss, because of Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley. To this day, Kiss's live guitar sounds remain among my very top favorite guitar sounds of all time. Incredible stuff. And Ace's playing was just like tasteful and melodic. He wasn't, by today's standards, a really technical fast shredder or whatever. He didn't need to be. He played what fit the songs. He came from the blues-based, pentatonic runs, Jimmy Page, that kind of style of playing. And it really fit. He was very tasteful. I used to always call him the king of the one-note solos because he could just play a note over and over and over, different phrasing, and make it sound good and fit the song. Also a very good songwriter. He wrote Cold Gin, which remained a Kiss staple right till the end. Parasite, lots of other stuff, Dark Star, things like that. Sang vocals, of course, Shock Me, one of his solo guitar pieces live. Sang on a lot of songs and came into his own as a songwriter. And in 1978, when the four band members, in an effort to keep the group together, decided to release solo albums all at the same time, his was the only one that went platinum. So his cover of the Russ Ballard song, Back in the New York Groove, has been featured in a lot of movies and things and sporting events. Great song, and he just killed it. Absolutely killed it. And that album, I actually just listened to it a few months ago in the spring. That album is fantastic. If you've not heard Ace Frehley's solo album from 1978, please do so, because he had a really cool vision. There's almost kind of a punky energy on it, and his vocals are kind of like very character voice, not an amazing singer, but it's a character voice, right? His voice always reminded me of Fast Eddie from Motorhead, if you've ever heard Fast Eddie sing. So for whatever that's worth, but I love every song on that album, that Ace Frehley album. It's really great. And actually his last solo album, put out last year, 10,000 Volts, is pretty strong. He, of course, after Kiss, he went on to form Frehley's Comet, which was his solo vehicle for many, many years. And sad day. The guy was a huge influence. If you talk to any guitar player, metal, hard rock guitar player that came up in the 80s and 90s, so we're talking the guys from Metallica and Pearl Jam, and name a person, Zakk Wylde, any of these people, they all worshipped Ace Frehley, as did I. And really sad day, Unfortunately, he had a lot of problems in his life, battled with substance abuse a long time, drug and alcohol issues, unfortunately, and was really not very good with finances. He died with not a lot of money in the bank compared to the other Kiss members. That doesn't matter. The guy lived an amazing life, man, and really cool dude. Paul Frehley, born 1951. Is that right? 51? Yeah. Worked as a New York cab driver. He used to call people Curly. That was his nickname for people. Hey, Curly! And he had a really Brooklyn accent, or Bronx accent, I guess. And one of my favorite stories of Ace is that when he showed up for the audition with Kiss, he showed up to audition for the band in their warehouse, whatever. He was wearing one red sneaker and one orange sneaker. I don't know if he couldn't afford, maybe he had mismatched sneakers because one of them wore out or something, or he was just trying to look funky and different or whatever. But Ace Frehley, man, amazing player, amazing character. A lot of Kiss fans count him as their favorite member of the band and the coolest member of the band, you know. A lot of attitude in that band, a lot of bad blood passed between Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons down towards Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. Whether some of it was deserved or not, that's not for me to say, that's their business. But Ace was one of a kind and a legend, and everybody loved him. To my knowledge, he, you know, didn't have many enemies in the world. I know Gene Simmons didn't have many good things to say about him. Be that as it may. Funny dude. If you've ever seen Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, which is one of the worst movies ever made, but he's a howl. Ace is a hoot in that movie. It's you know, it's worth watching for his antics or whatever. Yeah. So just a quick note on Ace Frehley. To thank him for the memories and to thank him for starting me on a lifelong journey of guitar and the love of heavy rock and loud, distorted guitar. I'll never forget the first thing I heard was a friend came home with a copy of Destroyer and he put it on and Detroit Rock City started. And I was like, whoa, I'd already heard some heavy music. I was listening to Sabbath and Zeppelin at that time, 1976. But that haunting solo in Detroit Rock City over the drum beat and just that oh wow, what is this? It's kind of a little bit scary sounding but really cool at the same time. And then got my hands on a live one, which of course is just a monumental live record. However much of it was recorded in the studio, who cares? The result is that album absolutely slays. It just kicks ass. So good. My favorite song on that album is an Ace Frehley showpiece, and it's not his guitar solo like you might think, but it's actually Let Me Go Rock and Roll, where he's just, you know, for several minutes, he's just throwing down, and it's so cool. So cool. So, thank you for joining me on this brief tribute to the one and only Ace Frehley. Rest in peace. Good sir. Thank you for the memories. Peace out. Have a good night.